But yeah, that's keeping up with the Bidens, y'all, and we'll see how this. I know this year ain't gonna end right, but
garbage and sanitation worker. No, they want to live in big houses that they see on videos.
You know, my thing is, I thought it was funny because it was the caller that did it, but at the end of the day, it's when you're a public figure.
That the whole thing makes me sick to my stomach.
You know what I'm saying? 99.9% of the time, I love living in this, country that we're free and we have this freedom of speech. But every now and then,
when she did, listen, the Trump, brother, if she could turn back the hands of time, Doc, ain't no Dave Chappelle, I'll tell you that.
And so you need to be put out and put on notice. The hell no.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
Hey, thank you, Lady Janice. What's up, everybody? It is Monday, and you know what time it is? It's TFG the nighttime. Listen, y'all. Welcome to TFG Tonight, where we are the best morning show that you can watch at night. Are you excited? Yes. And listen, y'all, we have a band of beautiful Black people that will come on and give us their hot, inspired topics. Ma'am, can you bring the family on this lovely evening for me? Gentlemen, lady, good day to you.
What up?
What's up?
Y'all doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Doing lovely.
Black
doing
over there
lovely.
eating. I'm hungry and he eating. What can I say? Man, we got a lot to talk about, and we have been afforded to have breaking news, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I will introduce the some and present to others. Lee Black, Devin Divine, Kendrick, and behind the scenes, the power behind the hour, Madam Brittany. She got multiple last names. Is that because you have multiple husbands? What is it?
Okay.
No, I'm just teasing. Yes, thank y'all so much. So listen, y'all, we're gonna go on and get started in this thing because we're gonna have some new faces come on here, y'all. Because I was on the show Friday with my boy Real Estate Insider, and
y'all was doing it big, bro. I checked you out.
Hey man, I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun, man. So we had like double-digit subscribers this weekend. So I appreciate that. Thank y'all so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, keeping up with the Trumps, about 45 minutes ago to about an hour, they reported in multiple news outlets that Donald Trump's house has just been raided in Mar-a-Lago. Black, things just got real. Like this, you ain't taking this cat out the bag now. Y'all done played around, but listen. So the report says that FBI got a warrant, and listen, this has to be ain't no play with this one. So they're going to retrieve those archived documents that he took from the White House. That's supposed to be in the archives, and so shame on you, Black. This ain't gonna end well.
You know what? We can hope. Up until now, Trump has been Teflon Don. And so, unfortunately, I still hold out reservation, although they've damn sure turned the heat up. And they're going to look pretty silly if, once again, you spent this much time, energy, effort, taxpayer money, and to go to this extreme, and this all turns out to be just another smoke and mirror show. I don't know.
You know, one proponent said this, that even if they go and find those documents, there is a course of action that can find Donald Trump not even being charged for taking those documents. Madam, are you planning on speaking to your white constituents on tomorrow? Because they're not going to be happy.
Oh, they don't care. Most of the white people I know, or at least they lie to my face and tell me they
that they will do. Yes, ma'am. Trump
either, and the fact that they don't want to tell me the truth means, at least they know better. So, no, I'm not really worried about it, but I literally don't have any faith in any of that unless something actually comes out of it. Because unfortunately, let's be honest, money talks. And before he would be responsible, he would find a fall guy to be responsible for him and just make him a promise. So I need to see something come out of it, or I don't believe it. People of power get charged for stuff all the time, and somehow it just seems to get swept under the rug or just go away.
This is unprecedented. I will say this, but Kenny, apparently they went unannounced, and the hired he was in New York, and they went to Mar-a-Lago, and he been trying to send word to the hired help. Vámonos.
Yeah.
I mean, where you at with this?
I mean, I'm not the most intelligent guy in the world, but when the FBI raids you, they ain't gonna let you know they coming anyway. First of all, so that's part of a raid when you're dealing with the federal government. I think, man, they better have something. I mean, again, like Black said, we was talking off cam. The heat has been turned up. I don't think I have a whole lot of confidence, but right now it's kind of looking like again, his inner circle has been getting. The heat has been turned up on them 1,000 times. So his inner circle is going down. Now, will he go down? I don't know. But, in the words of the late, great Malcolm X, the chicken is going to come home to roost eventually.
Well, as a good old boy growing up in Texas, one thing I can tell y'all, when all the dust is being kicked up, we're not going to really know what's going down until the dust settles. And they kicking up a lot of dust right now, so they better make sure that this ain't gonna be no Charlie Brown pig pen type situation where you just walking around with a whole bunch of dirt running around your body.
Yeah,
we're gonna find out, man, what's going down. So, y'all, if you're not a believer, well, something finna happen because Trump boys ain't gonna just sit quiet. I'm gonna just tell y'all that right now. So. I don't know what the next date gonna be, but it's gonna be something now since they raiding folks' house. So, but we'll see. All right, man, what we got next? Where are we with these people now? So there's a lot of news going on. What's going on with real estate?
What up, Real Estate Insider?
He's been saying hello in a lot of people's lives. I guess. I don't know what maybe he's busy. I don't know what he's doing. But he's been popping up in a whole lot of people's lives. But thank you, brother, for joining us.
Appreciate it,
man. So y'all, right. We got a lot of news that we got to cover, and so I just want to do some follow-ups on some of our topics that we had over the last few weeks. And I want to start with one. So last week we identified that brother that I think he got 5 years, but we didn't figure out what he did. And and again, this is not a black show. This is a show that we speak on black perspective. And so I want to be fair across the board. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to introduce you to the man that now owns the record for the most years for the January 6th insurrection. This gentleman has now received 7 years. And guess what? He ain't black. There's a white man.
Yeah.
A white man received 7 years. He was given 7 years, which they call this they lit a match, and now they finna set these boys on fire. Now, we talked about this guy a while back. His name was Guy Reffitt. He's 49 years old. He's from Texas, y'all.
Yeah, he's from Wiley. Yep.
Yeah, this boy ratted him out. And so, y'all, he actually got 7 years, man. 7 years. Are we seeing justice balancing itself out now with some type of equality? Devin, what you think?
I mean, I think it's definitely, we've seen more than I ever thought we'd see. But I think this boy's issue is that he's from Wiley, Texas, and he may not have, well, I'm just being honest. If you don't know Wiley, Texas, it sounds like it should be named Wiley, Texas. That's just not, he probably doesn't have a lot of resources, and he was just a dummy that followed the crowd. And he made a mistake and he thought he was untouchable. So I like that he was touched. But I don't know if y'all saw the videos. There were a lot more people than him and that brother there.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah.
A lot.
Black, are we getting justice?
No. And I love what Sister Devin said. And I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist. And recently I've been watching JFK Revisited. And it really unearthed a lot of what goes on in our government, and documents are now being unsealed where we get a realistic picture of just how far it went up the ladder. These are sacrificial lambs. You know, for me, this is all one part of the big distraction. Inflation, gas prices, you know, COVID, monkeypox, inept leader, and all of a sudden somebody has to be led to slaughter. Take our mind off this ish. I'm trying, Brother Kenny, to take our mind off of this. So somebody has to be sacrificed, and I feel like that's what this is about.
Yeah. Kenny, y'all don't think the scales are tilting a little bit to the right?
Well, I had to say, Brother Black, it's about damn time they sacrificing one of them for a change. So because it's normally us. So again, I think you said this many times, Brenton. I think we wouldn't have a problem with the justice system as long as it's fair across the board. As long as you are arresting and you sentencing our white brothers and white sisters just as harshly as you do on our black and brown folks, we ain't got a problem with it. You do the crime, you do the time. That's kind of how I look at it. So again, I'm not, this dude actually, he's part of a 3%er group, whatever that is. That's some allegiance group to Trump. So the Trump or something. So this dude was off his rocker. So he was coming there to that Capitol. He was coming there to do some damage. So I don't feel sorry for him. I hope he rot in jail, like my man Samuel L. Jackson said. At the time to kill. I hope he buried in hell. So
yes, sir.
That's what it is. So we'll see. That's just one. We still got a long way to go though.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Then also we want to follow up on something funky in Louisville. So when we did Breonna Taylor, and that old clown of an AG they got down there in Kentucky,
right?
I can't think of that black dude's name, but so apparently now they figured out that the police officers were lying.
We knew that from the beginning.
Right.
Wow.
Right. And so now the state is charging 4 of the current officers for falsifying documentation. Man, these jokers broke into their house and then went to some restaurant to get all of them to get their story together, and then it coerced it with the prosecutor, the prosecutor in Louisville. I mean, y'all, and listen, this is 2022. Just think when it was 200 years ago.
Right.
I mean, we didn't have a shot.
Well, not even 200 years ago, Brenton. Just in the 50 years ago?
I know. I was trying to get a little distance in between that. But shit, we could even talk about 8 months ago. Because had George Floyd not had that video,
right,
George would have been another druggie.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not pleased with the fact that they found this information. I mean, this should have been done in the beginning, y'all. And this is the frustration, ladies and gentlemen, those that are tuned in. This is what frustrates us as black people, is because we have to dig a little deeper to get to what's already on surface. Doesn't make no sense. Listen, say the digging for gold. I just want you to call it like you see it. I mean, y'all, do we want to respond to that? Because that's a follow-up again from months ago.
I'll only add simply that, you mentioned it. They didn't have to even dig. This was in plain sight. You want to impress me? Prosecute the prosecutor.
Right. Right.
Indict him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So y'all got work to do. Break's over.
Yeah.
Let's
you
get
on the
to
clock.
It.
Yeah, you're on the clock.
All right. So that's Breonna. Then where we at with Ahmaud Arbery? Well, Jethro and Jodine and whoever, Billy Ray and whatever their name is, they got convicted, life in prison for daddy and son, for hate crime. Again, I don't, and again, don't take my words as cynical. I don't want to applaud what should have already been obvious. I don't want to applaud that. Right? That's like somebody applauding the worker at McDonald's because they brought you your number one with a high C. I mean, that's what we asked for, right? That's what y'all ask the kids from decades. Okay, I'm taking a whole rabbit hole. I'm gonna say it. This is what you asked us to stand for and put our hand over for liberty and justice for all. So why would I applaud you for something you said you was doing in the first place? Okay. Yep. Anybody got anything on that follow up?
The only thing I'll say is those dudes don't need to be going to federal prison. Keep them in state Georgia prison for those life sentences, because we all know if they go to federal prison, they can get treated a little bit better. That's what they wanted, and the judge denied that. So hopefully they'll keep denying it. Those cats will spend the rest of their lives in state jail prison system in the state of Georgia. Yeah. Good luck.
And I don't mean to cut you off, Ken, but just quickly, even though it's something that was supposed to happen, it still makes me really happy because I think it's eye-opening for those who feel that they can carry on with that behavior without consequences. So I think it's quite a big deal, because maybe the next person who thinks they can kind of torture, stalk, and behave that way will think twice, because now we realize they may actually receive punishment for it. Because I believe when people do that and they act this way, it's because they know several people who acted that way and weren't punished for it.
And Devin, to your point, and I appreciate your perspective, we've said it once before on the show that when how do I want to say it? I want to say it properly. No, can't say it.
Just say it.
I know, but you know, people always take your words and they'll twist it. You know what I'm saying? So again, how can I say it like this? Racism wasn't a problem. Racism is not a problem until the justice system gave them the pass. Again, to your point, it's going to show people that they shouldn't have done it. Right, but the reason why they were able to do it is because the justice system allowed them to do it. That's what it is. And so here we are. Just do your job, and the people will stop. But again, I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want y'all to. I ain't race baiting. I'm just telling y'all. This the news. We reporting it. So
right.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Recession proof. Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. We want to. I think we all agree we're in a recession, right?
Yes.
Contrary to popular demand, Biden and them want to make this statement about, and we close, but we not now. Well, I tell you what, the news is wanting to report how to recession-proof your life. So take it up with them now, ladies and gentlemen. So here's 9 ways that you can recession-proof life as it is today. And let's talk about a few and see if we agree or disagree. Number 1, know your expense and make a budget. Okay.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Save as you can. Mm-hmm. I think we missed about 85% of that because I think most people live in paycheck to paycheck.
Pretty much, yeah.
Let's see. Consolidate your loans and don't take more.
Most definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Visit secondhand stores and yard sales. What you, ma'am?
Yeah, I was looking at Devin on that one too to see what she was saying.
She said, "No, we ain't gonna be able to do that." No. In a world in which we live and we try to be philanthropists, I feel like, oh man, I don't want to say that. Okay, I'll just leave it alone.
They got monkeypox going around. You can't be wearing folks stuff.
Negotiate your bills. Black, how you negotiate your bills? I don't think black folks know how to do that.
I don't know how to negotiate.
Negotiate.
You answer the phone and tell them I ain't paying you this week.
Just tell them I ain't got it. Just say I ain't got it.
He ain't here right now. Discussion. He in jail. Go find him.
He got monkeypox.
Yeah, so they say switch up your grocery list or groceries. Go from name brand to generic. I think we've been doing that, right?
I have done that.
You got to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think nobody didn't do that. Look at government assistant.
Yeah.
You preaching to the choir now, Doc. I think they've been doing that.
Yep.
Okay, I think we got one more. Look for community assistance. Kennedy, what kind of assistance you want from your community?
Man, That whatever they can give a brother, whatever I can get at this point. You know what I'm saying? Something.
I ain't gonna ask Lee what he want for his community.
But I will say on that one, that is one that is overlooked.
Okay, talk about.
There are programs out there that when you lose your job or something like that, that will help you pay your rent, pay utility bills. We all know that our people, we're a proud people.
Man,
and that sometimes is where this list can really come into play. It's because when you black, and we experience our Jefferson moment where we done moved on up to the big house, it's kind of humbling to have to go back down and revisit some of these things, and that's a big one right there. I've been out of work since May 18th, and I got turned down for it, but I was like, why not? I damn sure went online. I looked at it like this. I ain't losing. All I could do is tell me
say no.
Just say no, right?
And so, but I would have gladly taken it if they would have helped pay my rent. And then if you got affiliations with your church, Lord knows the church take enough from us. Sometimes get a little something back from them.
It depends on what church. That Whitehead church, though, I don't know about that one.
Hey.
But anyway, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
But they do have programs. They really do. In all seriousness, they do have programs, and I know people who took advantage of it. With me, it's always I never qualify for anything like that, but I know people who they get help with their rent, their bills, everything.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I didn't qualify either. And I tried, but I didn't qualify. My unemployment ran out, and I still tried to qualify. And
right,
So,
well, one more thing that we want to add to this recession-proof society was this weekend the government passed the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. Now, before you put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what that means. So apparently, the Senate has agreed that this will enact. This is per the Democrats' positioning. Enacts historic deficit reduction to fight inflation, lowers energy costs, increasing cleaner production, and reducing carbon emissions by roughly 40% in 2030. By 2030, allows Medicare to negotiate drug prices and cap out-of-pocket costs to $2,000. Lowers ACA healthcare premiums for millions of Americans. Make biggest corporations and ultra-wealthy pay their fair share. There are no new taxes on families making $400,000 or less, and no new taxes on small businesses. We are closing tax loopholes and enforcing the tax code. Black, you want to decode that?
This is the old parlor game or old shell game, and it's what's wrong with the American politics. It is that promise them something for tomorrow to keep them on the hook. Because all this is really saying is that stick with us, stick with this party, and this is what we'll do for you in 2030. Meanwhile, we live in 2022. If I'm waiting on what you might do for me in 2030, I'll be dead, And so talk to me about what you can do for me today. But this is politics as usual. It's a disgrace that they would even put something out there and continue to try to pull a wool over Americans' eyes. And so it's just sickening. That's why I have no respect for any of them. And particularly at this particular time that we're going through this, this is amazing that you would come out and give such a comprehensive list that amounts to BS.
Nothing. Yeah. Ma'am, I know you ain't on Medicare yet. We ain't old enough, right? But I mean, you're not in the medical field. So what are these drugs and these caps? I mean, is that going to affect our pockets?
It's all a lie. I see people who make no money, who are unemployed, who have Medicare, who cannot even afford their medications, who are having to stay in the hospital longer just so they can get enough meds to get the lab stable, only to go home, get sick again, turn around and come back. And now they've got thousands and thousands of dollars of medical bills. It's all a sham. I'm telling you, a little birdie told me go to the hospital, say you undocumented, your name is Jose Martinez, you don't have no ID, you don't have nothing, get all the health care you want, and they write it off. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. We'll see a dude come through there, and I know him, and I know he was there 2 weeks ago. He done changed his whole name. He don't have no ID. He undocumented. He get his treatments or whatever, leave, turn around, and rinse and repeat a month later. It's all a lie. Even if you have insurance, health insurance that I pay a lot of money for, I feel like I'm paying double the amount in health insurance for my health insurance versus my healthcare bills. None of it makes no sense to me. It's all a sham.
Kendrick, you gonna benefit from the Inflation Reduction Act?
As you can see in my eyes and my face, no. I didn't hear nothing about reduction in gas prices. I didn't hear nothing on that list about a reduction in food prices. Tuition, I didn't hear nothing on that about utility reduction in electricity. I mean, who is this for? I'm with Black. I mean, man, y'all stop. Politicians, please stop insulting our intelligence. We're not stupid. Y'all, this is just something out here just to pacify the American people. We need something today, man. Well, I don't care what's happening in 2030. Hell, I don't know. I ain't even promised the next 24 hours. So I damn sure don't know what's going to happen in 2030. So yeah, man, I mean, it's just a sham. Just like Devin said, it is what it is at this point.
The best advice I just want to give everybody, listen, just survive. That's the new success. Yep. Just survive. Yep. just make it. Recall grandmama and them old ways and doing things, and just keep it moving. Y'all gonna need it. So.
Good advice.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. What we got next, man? Well, there it is, sir.
There it is. What up? All right, let's get this move. Let's get this party started. It's a raid, not a Donald Trump raid, but it's a TFG sports raid. How my good people doing? We good? We good. All right. What I got? Cowboys. What's going on? Cowboys still in training camp. They probably won't go to the Super Bowl, Devin, just to let you know. So we're gonna still stick with that one. And so, but they gonna play a game. So we'll see what happens. Well, we're going to get right down to this. I don't know if you guys heard last Wednesday night, speaking of Cowboys, former Cowboy wide receiver Hall of Famer Terrell Owens, he had his Karen moment for 2022. He was on his way home in Broward County, Florida, driving in his neighborhood, and this woman on her bicycle said that he was driving fast and erratically. And she has some interesting things to say. We got a little bit of this confrontation, about a minute 45 seconds. Miss Brittany, can you roll that for me, please, ma'am?
I understand. Where you hit? I wasn't, but I asked him to slow down, and he got out of his car and started harassing me. He put his car in park.
Right, because you're going to yell at me and telling me I'm almost hit you, and I didn't.
But you didn't have to get out of your fucking car.
You didn't have to talk to me that way either, Karen.
You're a black man approaching a white woman.
First of all, you had your boy right here, your husband right here. So first of all, I don't do that type of stuff.
Relax. You did. You put your car in park and you came at me.
First of all, I didn't come at you.
Yes, you did.
You can stop all of that, Karen.
Okay, listen.
Get out of here with all of that.
Listen, if you guys want me here, I can solve it. He literally came after me.
Here she crying. There's Karen. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Swear to God, I've never been a part of nothing like this. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Do you have your ID?
I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it, but this is firsthand. Oh boy, as she's crying. Oh my God, this is real. This is real. This is real. Here you go. Here you go, sir. This is real. This is real. This is real. This is real. I've seen it, but I've never been a part of this. This is real life. And now she's crying. Her husband tried to tell her to go in the house, but now she wanted to do the whole Karen thing. So I'm going to be here with my camera to show everything. First of all, you need to stop that.
You were speeding through the neighborhood.
He was not. I was in the garage. You're lying now because I was sitting in the garage.
She said I was First of all, I know what you're saying. No, I get you. I got you. No, this is real. This is real life in 2022. This is real life Karen stuff.
Miss Devin, what you think about Miss Karen?
I just can't get over this is a black man walking up toward a white woman comment. That's all I kept like thinking about. Like, what difference does that make? Like, you can't be coming at somebody yelling, cussing, carrying on, and then when they get out the car, you don't keep that same energy. I just like that he had his phone with him and was recording so that he did not continue to escalate. But it's the playing the victim for me. That was hilarious, and I don't know what she was expecting. Or of course, I hate that we always see the tail end of the videos. To not so we don't know exactly what happened and what occurred. Because I feel like if he got out of his car, it was for a reason. And I believe she was probably cussing and carrying on, and he got out the car and he was like, "I'm gonna need you to keep that same energy," and then she played the victim.
That's why. It was an 11-minute video that he went live on his IG, and that was really toward the tail end. But again, he did get out of his car, but he got out of his car to go to his mailbox at his house. She started the confrontation, and then he just walked up to her. That's how that got going. So again, she decided to play the victim, as they always do, and she started putting her actress. She had her actress skills going once the cops got there. Brother Black, what's your take on that whole situation?
This would be funny if it wasn't so tragically transparent about what America is really all about. And it's very scary for me to discuss this. I want to laugh, and you have to laugh to kind of get through it. But I experience this on a regular basis, just to be honest. And being that I'm not a person to whip out my phone, I'm not on IG. I use social media to do what I'm doing now, as a platform to discuss various topics. But I don't whip out my phone every time, whatever. And I live in a building where I've had these moments or whatever, and I live in true fear every time I leave my apartment, and I have to interact because I'm old school. And I know for me, slapping the taste out of Karen is my first impulse rather than to film her. But I've said this before, and it's a harsh reality, and I've been saying this for the better part of 25 years. The most precious thing to America is a white woman. The entire Marvel universe is built upon the concept that at its core, you have to save a white woman. And that's what some of the greatest movies in cinematic history, the whole entire genre of horror movies is built on that premise. Don't you dare harm a white woman. And the reason why I bring this up, this is not a racist rant I'm going on, but I'm just tired of a lot of my people still, after all of these years, still putting them on that pedestal. My brothers out there, you want to get your little coochie from a white girl? I'm all for that. I'm colorblind when it comes to coochie. When the lights go out, we all the same color anyway. But now, in terms of parading on your arm, come on, people. It's about time for us to wake up, and that is not the prize. You know what I'm saying? Because when the mustard meets the corn and it comes down to it, she stated as something as simple and as plain truth as you ever want to hear. She said, "You are a black man approaching a white woman," and there it is.
Yeah, and she said that in a tone like, "You had the audacity to approach me."
And
that's kind of how. There you have it, Brother Brenton. I know you have a lot to say about it. What was your thoughts on that interaction?
Well, for me, it's when all things are in its proper place. Again, it's Terrell Owens, so he's already a celebrity. So I think that kind of helps him because just of his status, he can reach a lot of people quickly through the social media. So that was smart. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying, if his name was right. Jackie Johnson,
right, one of us, right,
one of many, what I'm saying, that it has the potential to go the wrong way. So I'm happy again that Terrell got his I don't even know if it's he was I don't know what he got. He ain't getting nothing, right?
Nothing. He got harassed. He got harassed. That's what he got.
But it didn't turn out bad. So I guess life did what it was supposed to do. But again, he is what? How many people make it to the NFL? That try to make it
less than 3% of those.
Well, that's the new 3%er. So I guess again, we're talking about a place where you just make sure you're at the right place at the right time, and ultimately his phone wasn't dead, so he lucked up on that one. So, so that's what I would say to that, man. Just again, like you said, this is you can't laugh because it's real, because it can happen to one of us tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I would say that I applaud, like you guys said, that I'm glad T.O. decided to go live on his Instagram page, because a lot of times we wouldn't even see any of this stuff happen without these phones. We just mentioned earlier about George Floyd. You mentioned Brenton. If they wouldn't have had their phone there, we would have never known what happened to him. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is America. This is us, man. And I will tell any black men and black women for that matter, be cognizant of your surroundings and make sure your phone is fully charged, because you just never know what'll happen.
That's it.
Anyway, that's my TFG sports moment for tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Back to you, Brenton.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much for having you on with that amazing topic, man. We'll move on to the next one. Yes, Beyonce. She is doing a versus with Monica, and I'm not talking about the singer.
Oh
no! I didn't know this was an issue until I'm not a Beyonce fan. I hadn't listened to 1 second of that new album, Renaissance. I don't even remember the song that something you can't touch my glory. Oh yeah. That I know that. I mean, excuse me. I apologize. I don't know. But apparently, she took out, like Black said last week, Khalees. Again, I didn't even know she was on the album, but she removed something from the album that Khalees, I guess, had the rights to.
Nope.
And so now she didn't.
Khalees really didn't. That's a whole other story. But you don't want to talk about that.
Okay, her voice. Okay. Yeah. Well, Monica had a problem now. Something she wanted to revisit. So apparently, back in 2013, Monica Lewinsky wanted a lyric taken out of her song, but it's really interesting about the lyric. Once you start listening to it, she actually said something about Beyonce singing to the affair that she had with Bill Clinton, and she didn't want to get that Monica Lewinsky on her dress. Now, again, for someone who doesn't understand culture in the urban area, everybody understood what she was talking about, even though it's slang. You knew whose it was, but it made sense in the lyrics. So regardless of if contextually she was making sense, everybody knew what she was getting at. You know what I'm saying? Because Monica Lewinsky was a pronoun or a verb, right? At some point in time, you know,
at some point in time,
and all the brothers said, "All right," because they know what I'm talking about, right? So that in that moment, but she brought it back up again, and y'all, we are so sensitive. And I don't get me wrong, I understand this, and take your opportunity when you can, and if it pans out, great, so be it. If not, but Devin, I mean, I know Beyonce, she may be one of your favorite artists, but I don't know. But what is the problem with Monica not wanting? I mean, she took it on the chin for a lot, and I'm no pun intended, but I'm saying she took it on the chin for a lot of years, right? So
first of all, I can't stand Monica Skeet Lewinsky. She is nasty. That nasty lady kept that nasty dress with that man's picture on it to try to use it. She had a whole biopic on it. She disgusted. She was on her knees under that desk with that lady husband. She is nasty. I hope he skeeted in her ear, her hair, all the back of her, because she is trying to be relevant right now. That song Partition came out so many years ago, and that is so many rap songs and in so many movies, and like she just had a whole biopic about it, or a movie that she made about that man skeeting all over her nasty self, and now she want to act like today she bothered by it. She's just trying to be relevant again, and because it worked for Khalees.
All right, close your mouth, honey. I'm telling
you. oh, the Devin Freeze. Wait.
Well, yeah. Well, Brittany said the same advice she should have taken them. Excuse me. The same advice she should have taken then, she needs to take now, and that's close your mouth. Go on, sister. Finish what you saying.
I'm just saying, I can't stand her. She's just trying to be relevant. That lady don't care. He was probably one of many who skeeted all over her. So I don't know. It just matters because it's Beyonce and people talk about it. She's disgusting. She's disgusting for letting that lady husband do that to her in the first place. And I don't care if he was a president and he had a position of power. He didn't make her do it. She volunteered to get on her ashy knees. And now she want to act like she bothered because somebody talking about it. Get them out of here.
And she did it clean, y'all.
She did. You know, I was listening. Listening.
She said ashy knees.
Yeah, she said ashy. Right. Yeah.
Get it. I mean, we remember the Monica Lewinsky. So what's she? Is she just trying to get a couple of dollars?
She tripping, man. She need to go on somewhere. Man, people been talking about her. Comedians been talking about her. She's been in other songs for the last 10, 15 years. Go on, girl. Ain't nobody. Stop it. You know, and you probably been sucking somebody off since then. So stop it. Yeah. But anyway, she need to go on somewhere. Monica, ain't nobody checking for you. But anyway, that's my thought.
Blackadelic, come on in here, brother. Come on.
Well, I happen to be a great fan of Monica Lewinsky. Personally, so I'm proud of her. God bless Monica Lewinsky, because I'm a huge fan of fellatio. And having said that, now having said that, this whole thing is once again a white woman trying to rewrite history. But the bigger issue for me here is that you talked about how sensitive we become. We've slid down a slippery slope now where we are now questioning every little thing and even retroactively going back to talk about things that might have affected us. And so Beyonce has made 2 corrections since the album dropped. Her and Lizzo, they took out a word that was offending, people who are crippled. And yes, I'm purposely saying the politically incorrect word for you cripples. But okay. The word that they was offended by was spaz. So I'm going to spaz out on you people out here today because we've become far too sensitive. That a word like spaz got them up in arms, and she removed that. And so in this case, Monica Lewinsky heard about the interpolation. If you don't know what that is, Kellis had no rights, no whatever. And in her stupidity, by actually ranting, she cost herself money. She wasn't relevant. And Beyonce, by using an interpolation, literally just mentioning a lyric that was in one of her songs, so she didn't even bite the song itself. She could have actually became a little bit relevant because she would have been connected. But here come Monica Lewinsky, wanted to jump on the bandwagon and see an opportunity to rewrite history. Monica, I love you. Own it, baby. You're fantastic. You're the most famous dick sucker that we know. I love you. Own that.
Actually, she's not a superhead, but
yeah, superhead. But that's a whole nother topic.
Dead famous rapper. She dick sucked the president.
Yeah, that's true.
President trumps all of them.
That's
no pun intended. But yeah,
I love you, Monica.
And I believe he means it.
We're talking about Monica Lewinsky, y'all, not Monica the R&B singer. So if somebody get confused, we're talking about Monica Lewinsky, not the R&B singer.
All right. Well, listen, shout out to all the other senators who have their little Lewinskys around there still. So, that's where it is. I don't have much more to say because Black loves her. So we're not gonna talk about it anyway. So, my dad says he's not a fan. I understand. Yeah. everybody has their own. So we'll move on, man. We'll follow up if we see anything come out of this. But I think the cat is it's what is it? I don't even know the analogy. The ship is sail. Thank you. I'm talking about the cat is sail. I don't know. All right, man. What we got next? Uh oh. Now I seen this one. Now y'all just put it on stage. Come on. Who business you in today, man?
Man, you know who went viral was Greg Mathis, y'all. And y'all know I was minding my business as usual, but then that popped up because I love Uncle Greg. I've always been a fan.
You watch his show?
I like him too.
He's real. He's blunt. He say what's on his mind. But this time, I feel like I wonder if what he said should have been what I call kitchen table talk. He was accepting an award actually. And he mentioned that he was upset with black men because he feels like that black women and white kids were on the front lines during the Black Lives Matter movement, while black men basically, and I'm paraphrasing, just killed each other at an astronomical, rate. And I think that if this is really the way he felt, maybe he shouldn't have said it on a public platform, because I feel like it makes people say negative things. I really wanted y'all's opinion about this. I personally was a black woman that was on the front lines. My dumb self was contributing to the Black Lives Matter movement and to that lady's Rolls Royce and mansion. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But I'd like to know what y'all think about what Greg said. And even if he should have said it, Ken, what do you think?
I actually watched the video and I didn't like it. And I like Greg Mathis, but I think this is another point. This is another reason why black men sometimes this is a black men bashing moment. I just think that he was out of place for saying that. Do you have numbers to show that there wasn't any black men on the front lines? I mean, when you start throwing out innuendos and then saying all the black men were doing during this time was killing each other and playing video games and this and that, and the whole the sad part about it for me too, because I could tell that room was mostly probably women, and all you could hear was cheers, and so I'm like, man, this is another moment for black men to be kicked while he down again. I mean, you a judge, and I understand it, but I just thought this was one of those moments where I just thought that I didn't agree with it, and it kind of made me, it kind of pissed me off a little bit, because I didn't think that was cool for him to go that route.
All right, Black, what did you kind of think about Uncle Greg giving everybody the business?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either, and I think he's wrong in the most fundamental sense. To say that black men wasn't on the front line, why we were on the front line? Because we were dying. We were the victims. And so you're missing the forest for the trees, my brother. Now, while I certainly appreciate any support that was given at that time to highlight the need for justice and change and, police reform, and we're still fighting that fight, black women have always been at the forefront, personally, of standing up for black men anyway.
Right.
And that's why, alluding to my previous segments, that's why I'm always going to put them at the top of the food chain, no matter what they do. Now, while they might not always be queens to everybody else, black women they're the shit. I'm sorry, please don't count that one against me. Black women are the it of everything. And having said that, I appreciate any support, but to say that in that room, it is male bashing. You know what I'm saying? And it's a part of the problem. I get what you was trying to kind of say, and maybe you should have went a little bit further, especially being a judge, because I do agree that we as African American, we're a part of a lot of the violence against ourselves, and we have to clean that up. But in this specific instance, we were the front line. That's why we were being kicked down. Now, last thing I'll say is I'm not a fan of Greg Mathis. I get his show. I'm not a fan of any of those shows anyway. And then maybe you need to pay attention to your Fegele son a little bit more, but okay, that's a whole nother thing.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Oh.
Cases like this, Brenton, that they should maybe highlight the black men if they want to target black men that are doing great things opposed to being so negative toward the ones he thinks were just killing each other and playing video games.
Yeah, and I agree with my dad. It didn't fit his platform. I'll say this, and again, this is just one man's opinion to the point. Black Lives Matter, it began to get very convoluted. So it's very difficult. And brothers, again, I don't speak for everybody, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm not saying this as it relates to women either. I'm just telling you from a man's perspective. Men, and I mean men who recognize men, we like things to be organized. That's why the Muslim, the black Muslims, they're so successful because men are very attracted to organization. Like if it look right, it's structured right, you got us.
Right.
If Black Lives Matter could have just stayed structured, you probably would have seen a lot more black men. But because it became, well, we doing this, and y'all want to put everything in like y'all putting a house bill together to send up to the Senate floor. Well, yeah, you're not going to see a lot of men get involved because it became too convoluted. And so that's, Greg has his own position, and that's just mine. You know what I'm saying? It has to be more focused because although we do have a lot in common, but we don't play to those strengths. That's my issue with that. So,
all right. Well, I personally think that every time something comes up with Black Lives Matter, the first thing people want to talk about is all the black people that are killing each other. It's the first phrase that comes out of everybody's mouth. But what I wish people like Greg Mathis, and he may be doing it, I don't know, could use their platform for is to address a lot of those communities where they feel like people were killing each other and playing video games, because we never focus on trying to help alleviate the problem. We just kind of bash it and talk about it. And so why would anything ever change? And I just don't think bashing a whole community of black males is the right route to do it, especially from someone like him with such a large voice and such a large platform. I just think it makes people who are not a part of the community or part of the culture speak negatively. Well, if he said it, then there must be some truth to it. That's why I think things like that should be kitchen table talking, not on a large platform. But anyway, that kind of actually made me sad. It didn't make me happy. So I definitely am happy to go back to minding my business and get to that.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week beginning somebody else's business. Thank you so much. All right. I think we got one more thing for tonight. SSI. Oh my. Yes, y'all. Listen, we talked about other socioeconomic areas like the healthcare, but apparently Social Security is getting an update. There's 3 changes that are possibly coming to Social Security that we didn't know. It says many seniors look at Social Security as an essential, stable source of monthly income. But while Social Security has been around for many decades, the program tends to undergo changes on a yearly basis. So apparently this year in 2022, 3 changes are coming to Social Security. They are substantially giving an increase to Social Security. And apparently they would normally give it, but because this last year or two, especially with the inflation now, so it says that Social Security benefits are subject to an annual cost of living adjustment. Again, that normally happens for those that know and have people who on Social Security. That cost of living change comes. I don't think it comes annually. I could be mistaken. But it says the purpose of this increase will help ensure that they keep up with inflation. Because inflation soared during the latter part of 2021, Social Security benefits got a 5.9% increase for the start of 2022. That's a very generous amount for those. And it says next year, Social Security cost of living won't be announced until October because it's calculated in the third quarter of this inflation. It says also another change coming to Social Security: seniors lost buying power despite a generous raise. So because Social Security recipients may have seen an increase, but the rate of inflation has well outpaced the raise. Typical. Typical, right? So it says in June, the Consumer Price Index, which measures changes in the cost of goods, rose 9.1%, on an annual basis. When we compare that to the increase of 5.9, I'll just let you do the math. And then lastly, says workers get charged more taxes for Social Security purposes. Now that was interesting. If nobody understands, if somebody is listening to us don't understand, that money that comes out your check is paying for these folks' Social Security. And the problem that people are fearing is that because you guys, and I'm saying you guys, those that younger adults that are not working, don't desire to work, well, that's going to stop this whole cycle of how people get money for retiring into Social Security. I know they have made a waste paper basket out of this thing, but it's gonna get real nasty in the next 25, 30 years, y'all. So I know none of us is on Social Security, no. but I mean, Kenny, does it sound hopeful?
Nah, no, it doesn't. And I think most people in our age group kind of know that this Social Security thing is barely standing up. You can't bank on that. You can't bank on this system being around by the time you even you get to that age. The cost of living adjustment that they've made or that they make, I think they give them one like once every 2 years. Obviously, this one is just basically it cancels itself out because of the inflation. The people that's on Social Security, they can't even afford their medicine. They can't even afford after they pay what little they bills. They ain't got nothing left over anyway. So the system is on the verge of collapse. How do we fix it? I don't know if it can be fixed. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, it's crumbling right before our eyes. Sister Devin, where you at with this?
I don't know. It just annoys me because I have a family member who's on it, and you can't make it off of that. Like, and even preparing for it, unless you worked at a job that allows you to have some like 401k, a major retirement plan, you just can't make it off of Social Security. And when I think of my cost of living from now compared to even 2 years ago, everything is so much higher, but their Social Security check is not. So you have to kind of lean on family members, and it just kind of makes me sad for people who have done the right thing all their life. And what's even worse is the people that I'm working with, nurses and things of that nature, who are still working, y'all, and I'm not joking, it's 75 years old and things like that, because they can't make it off of the benefits that they tell us if we work till 65, we can make it off of. And it's annoying, and I'm worried about myself if God allows me to see that age and how I can make it, So of course I've been preparing and trying to invest and save and things like that. But I just worry about the people who aren't afforded the ability to do so.
Wow. All right, Black, put a bow on it.
America. Ooh, America. This is Smoke and Mirrors. There was an episode of Sanford and Son where Grady received some extra Social Security checks.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Yeah.
And he uttered one of the lines that I will never forget in that episode. Keep in mind, this was filmed back in the 70s and how appropriate it is to the subject. He said when they first started the Social Security program, they took $1. They told me they taken $1 out of my check. He said $1 was worth $1. Now that they're giving it back to me, $1 is worth $0.25.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On that episode. And he had already gotten 2 checks, legally. He said, so the way I see it, I'm entitled to the 2 I got, this extra I'm going to keep. And he said, they owe me 1 more. And so this is Smoke and Mirrors, folks, is that this is games that, once again, insulting our intelligence, as Devin alluded to. It's no coincidence that while Americans are living longer, we're also working longer. As Americans, our stress level, the suicide rate, we're the most miserable, so-called greatest country in the world, is because at its most fundamental level, we don't even take care of our elderly. We don't take care of our veterans. We don't take care of our sick. We don't take care of our hungry. America.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna just tell y'all, like Devin said, you better save them coins. Keep them quarters at them couches, and because y'all gonna need them, because they raising it on us because the youngins ain't working, so they trying to just stay afloat. But that thing is it's destined to implode.
Yep.
You can guarantee that. So, all right, y'all, we're at the no, girl, don't get me beat up. Would you say that he said Social Security is not security? You're right about that.
Yeah,
So they
that's
should change the
definitely right.
SSN out, right?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are with the most famous part of the show. Lee Black is going to holler at us for a second with God. Is that you?
I asked a question because I had an epiphany moment. Again, this show is so organic. You uttered something, Brother Brenton, at the very beginning. You said it's about survival. And that stuck with me from the very beginning when you said that. We discussed so many topics here tonight, and at its core, this could be very pessimistic. We could leave here tonight with our spirits down and crashed and troubled because we're facing the collapse of the Social Security system. We still need police reform, inflation, all of these things we talked about tonight. But I want to share something with you about my own personal journey real quick, and I'm only going to take 2 minutes. I've been out of work since May 18th, and the first thing that hit me when I lost my job, I thought, oh my God, here I am, I'm a 54-year-old man, I'm out of work. And what was supposed to probably be the scariest time in my life, because I've been out of work before, but before I was younger, more physically fit, healthy, all this stuff. Here I am now, I'm dealing with all kinds of issues. And I decided to go on vacation, despite knowing that I had no income coming in. Best decision I made. I slept like a baby, and I've been putting on social media how I wake up every day and I love coffee. I've been sipping on coffee, looking out the window, getting some of the best rest of my life. Here in Atlanta, it's been storming, and I love inclement weather, and I've been sleeping like a baby. My stress is down. My conditions are improving, although I still deal with sciatica, peripheral neuropathy, all of these things. But I don't want for nothing, folks. You know why? It's because what the world is trying to do to us is they're trying to take God out of the equation. I read an article the other day where they're even telling us now that some famous mountain that erupted way back before time, that was the reason why, those plagues hit Egypt. And all the problems that befall us, you got rich Americans telling us we can go to another planet. They've removed God out of the equation. Not for me. And you might be surprised to know this, but a practicing sinner like me, yes, even I have a relationship with God. And God, in all his infinite justice, wisdom, and power, still takes care of me every single day, even though I don't deserve it. Even though I don't deserve it. So I'm here to tell you that you can't pray to God and then not work in harmony with your prayers, because then what are you doing? And so I knew I'd be okay. I started back work on the 30th. I got to take my fat black ass back to work because I have to. But having said that, God had me all the time. And this little hiatus has allowed me an opportunity to not only recoup and get some rest, but also to reinstate my faith in God, because it's about to get worse before it get better, folks. The World Almanac is predicting a winter that we haven't seen in a long time. So even though we're dealing with the heat, winter is coming. But I want to say to you guys like me that I've been doing it here yesterday and then today. When that thunder is clapping real loud and this storm is brewing and the windows are shaking, put your head in your pillow a little bit further, deeper, pull your face mask down like I do, and quietly whisper with confidence, God, is that you? I know you got me.
Hey, man, I needed to hear that.
Thank you, brother. For the whole minute and 45 seconds, I was with you until you said you put that face mask down. I said,
I like to sleep in total darkness.
Listen, if they asked me 3 truths and a lie about you, I'd have definitely guessed you put a mask on at night. You just that pretty. I know you put on, and you probably put some cream on your face too. Whatever. Y'all, it's been a great show today. I sure appreciate y'all. We shared some good information, and I hope that you became a little smarter today. And if not, we'll check us out next week. We'll try to pull you out that hole, right? But it's final thoughts time. And ladies and gentlemen, we will start with my brother Kenny. If you would give me your final thoughts, brother.
Always a pleasure hanging out with my family. I have no demerits to give to Brother Black nor to Sister Devin tonight. So you guys both get the gold stars. I'm proud of you. keep it up. Keep up the good work, as they say. My final thoughts is again, I said this at the beginning, and I think I'm gonna say it again. For number 45, and this is gonna be really short. I think the chickens are coming home to roost. You may not pay right now, but yeah, you getting ready to pay the piper, I believe, and it's gonna happen. And it may not be what we want, but justice is justice, and whatever little bit we can get for 45, that'll make me feel all right, considering what he put this country through.
Yeah,
so that's my final thoughts.
Come on here, Black.
You said that, Brother Brenton, that we need the good old-fashioned spun wisdom of grandmoms. I like that. And my final thought is we need to get back to that place. We got serious problems, folks, and we need serious people to solve them. I don't trust who's in office now. I don't trust the ones coming behind them. So you know what? We have to be our own brothers' keepers. We have to check on each other. We have to care about each other. We have to help each other. And you don't have to do it for the gram. And so we have to have each other's back. So don't forget to call and check on one another and share good, realistic tips that Nana, Mama, and them taught us about how to live so close to the ground that humility is not a thing for us, that we can share what we got. We done this before, folks. We got this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, the sister, Miss Devin Devine. Well, give me your final thoughts, man.
Well, quickly, I've had an interesting couple of weeks. About a year ago, I think my dad passed. And then this past Saturday, I buried his sister who died unexpectedly. And then the next day, they called me because his other brother died. So I'll be doing a repeat like next weekend, just boom, boom, boom. And out of 11 children of my grandmother's, she now only has 2 remaining. But with all that being said, what I'm saying is it kind of took me back to what Black was saying about just kind of protecting your peace and things like that. And my whole thing with their life was I just hope they were happy, because you just never know. I expected them to be around much longer than they were. So while you do definitely have to think about tomorrow and worry about the future, you should always just try to protect your peace and try to be happy while all this chaos and confusion is kind of going on. And I appreciate you guys for kind of this show and kind of getting away from it and have a moment of fun. So, but just live your life and just protect your peace. That's the whole point.
Man, I sure
hate to hear that. Condolences to you and your family, Sister Devin, for sure.
You really private. I sure hate you didn't tell us that, but all right. I don't even want to make a joke right now.
Well, no, I need you to make a joke. Please make a joke.
All right, I'll make a joke. Just because Devin said I'm gonna make a joke. Well, I got a question for y'all then. How about that? This is for my sister Devin today. Who is the most hottest couple that you would say that you ever admired?
What? Oh, that's
the Obamas.
The Obamas?
Okay.
All right. Kenny?
I think I'm gonna say Ossie Davis and Ruby D.
Ooh. Ossie Davis. Man, how far you stick that shovel in the dirt for that one?
No, I mean, because I always thought they had a dope marriage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I thought about Ike and Tina, and I said, not that kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? It was hot though, but it was okay. Yeah, it's about perspective, right? About perspective. Right. Well, I tell you what. Well, let's just show this video, and I'll come back to you.
My white people.
I've never seen them.
Didn't work. They wouldn't have had to worry about Social Security. Just dumb. No
man, listen. I've never seen a more hotter couple than these two. But as I said whether it's the Obamas, Ruby, or Ike and Tina, it's all about the perspective, how hot the couple is. All I'm gonna just tell y'all is, listen. For those that are together, just know this: if you know that you can do anything together and it's possible, well, just always take a look at that video, because anything y'all do together is possible. And I just hope that you don't marry somebody as stupid as you. But I don't know who said okay to that, but man, that was a stupid move.
And then you got ignorant people cheering them on. Okay,
that's it.
All right, cool.
Maybe they had monkeypox on their clothes or something.
Okay,
trying to get it off of them, but anyway. So a hot couple is a perspective, right? So just always know there's none hotter than those two. But that's what I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. That's Devin, that's Kendrick, and that's Lee, and we'll see y'all on Monday.
Peace.